It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Read reviews and listen to shows online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Kevin Carr.
And this is It's Movie Time.
It is.
And this is the time for transgender. So we have a film called A Fantastic Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kev, is it a fantastic film?
Well, it certainly is a fantastic performing film. You know, it won the Oscar for Best Foreign Film. It's Chilean.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Does put it at the top though. So let's dissect this.
I'm not sure it's a great title. You know, what do you say? Fantastic.
What's the original title? Is that a direct translation?
I don't know. I know. Anyway, so it won a prestigious award, of course, at the Oscars. So it's worth watching, and I certainly enjoyed it when I saw it.
Yeah.
But what do you think is its real drawing card, Kevin?
Well, I think right now the big thing is it does deal with trans issues. The basic gist of the story is this man is having a relationship with a trans woman who is younger than him, considerably younger than him. They live together, and she's a singer at a lounge somewhere, and he unexpectedly dies. Like he has a stroke or something.
Yeah, they're living together.
Yeah.
He's divorced.
Yeah.
And he just keels over.
Yeah, and she is left having to deal with his family, who has survivorship rights, and just dealing with the fact that they're trying to work through all these states, and they don't accept her at all as a relationship, let alone a person, in a lot of ways.
Right.
And so you're dealing with that. And I think what the big draw for people here is that it's a trans movie that doesn't take place in America and doesn't have any sort of relevance specifically to America being, it's a completely foreign film. It takes place in Chile. It's all about Chilean issues. So it's an interesting look at other countries and how they deal with these issues.
But don't you think there's a kind of universal approach to this?
Oh, sure.
In the sense that everybody's just kind of dancing around the issue without having full experience with it. So
are you talking about in the movie or in general?
In general.
Yeah,
in general.
I think in general, definitely. The movie, there's not a whole lot of dancing,
No, there isn't, right.
They don't like her.
I know, they don't. And it's so interesting because even the police treat her like a criminal.
Yes.
So
she's suspect the second she walks on.
Exactly. Yeah. So most people, if they don't know already, they figure it out pretty quickly that she is transgender.
Yeah.
And they right away apply some kind of a negative spin on their relationship with her. And even the family, except for maybe the brother, who is kind of...
Nobody. I mean, there's people who are less aggressive to
That's
her,
right. Yeah.
But it's not...
But I think your implication is so true. They just are not accepting it.
No.
They
reject it outright. She's not allowed to come to the funeral. She's not allowed to... They don't want her living there. They won't give her a dog back. There's a lot of stuff that's going on that are universal themes for those people who are transgendered and the struggle that they're going through. Not just... And that's what I mean. It's not just an American issue. A lot of people tend to think... as Americans, we tend to be very ethnocentric, and so we don't realize this stuff goes on elsewhere, or we think, oh well, everywhere else is either backwards or progressively past us. Well, but we forget that everybody's dealing with the same stuff.
And what I like about the film is it's almost as if there's no need to explicate the whole transgender thing. It is, and she is ostracized, as a woman might be ostracized by a family because they just don't like her.
Well, yeah, there's already that.
Yeah,
that she's considered the other woman anyway.
I know she is right. Yeah,
but yeah, it makes it worse for them.
Yeah,
and that gives them an extra level of cruelty as opposed to just harassment. I mean, there's some bad stuff that happens.
Some things that the audience maybe feel that it will be uncomfortable are not so. Even the loving scenes between him and her, I think are very well done.
Well, it's funny. I saw this movie on a screener because it was during award season, so I got sent the disc. And I was just putting in movies and watching them with no context at all. So I didn't even, it took me a while to catch up to what was actually going on, because I think part of the thing is the movie relies on the fact that you go in, most people are going to go in knowing the subject matter,
Yes.
and I didn't. So it was, I was like, what's the big deal? Oh, I get it now. And then I started to figure it out. And of course I'm reading subtitles, and, so
Oh, well, yeah.
I was a mighty bit confused at the beginning.
But you could be. You
Mhm.
could say, well, this is an older man, younger woman.
Yeah.
And you could roll along with that until somebody questions. I think when the doctor begins the questioning
Yeah.
of her at the hospital, is when, for those people who weren't in on it, did get in on it.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
certainly
some
the
point.
police coming in there.
Oh, right, yes.
And here's the thing that's interesting when it comes to transgender rights and treatment of transgender people is there's two cops that are dealing with her, and one of them is just like, just doesn't care. It's just like, why are we tiptoeing around this? And the other one's trying to be sensitive, but she's just as awful.
Oh, yeah, the
to
sexual assault lady.
Yeah, because she's like, well, no, we have to treat her as a woman in this, but still, she's suspect on every level. Which it shows there's. I found that to be one of the more interesting things, because it shows that just because you're being polite about certain things and paying attention, you can still be a horrible person about it.
Yeah. Oh,
And that happens all the time. Especially when it comes to gay and transgender rights.
I think, Kevin, the scene that best exemplifies that for me is when she's forced to strip, and they take photos of her.
Yeah.
How humiliating! Oh,
yeah.
my Lord! Now, for the audience who might be a little bit queasy, there's half the body is not exposed.
You're not seeing anything.
You're not seeing anything, so don't worry about
it. It's not graphic.
And when in fact they're in a loving mode. You're not going to be seeing much of anything.
Yeah.
To kind of make you try to adjust to it, you don't worry about it.
Yeah.
To me, it's a love story, and it's about an outsider. It's about grief. It's about what you do when it seems like the world is against you. And I think that Danielle Vega, would have been nominated if that was in the cards to be nominated for an Oscar by when you're. Is that possible?
Well, Marion Cotillard's done it, and Isabelle Huppert does it
in American films.
Well, no, but wasn't what was the last one that Isabelle Huppert got? And then Marion Cotillard, she was nominated for what was it? One day, so many days, 2 days, 3 nights, or something like that.
Okay,
that was a French movie. So I think that they do. The Academy will consider that.
That's right. Okay.
But then again, you're dealing with Marion Cotillard and Isabelle Huppert, who are well known.
Yeah.
And
okay, good point.
And it's like it reminds you a little bit of Tangerine several years ago when there was a real big push by Magnolia to get, and the actress's name escapes me, but the trans actress who was in that movie.
Yeah.
And that she should have been nominated. But I remember just kind of like going, "Oh, the Academy's not gonna. They're not gonna.
Oh, right.
They're not. It's like it's. But that's the way the world is, and that's I think indicative of this, where people are like, "Oh no, we're accepting, but we're not that accepting." No,
Well, anyway, it's a terrific performance, almost understated for me, but beautifully done. Certainly a potentially hot topic.
Yeah.
It's handled with class.
It's the next one that's coming up. It is.
Yeah.
In terms of talkability.
Yeah. All right, Kevin Carr. The film is A Fantastic Woman.
Yes.
Do you have a fantastic grade for this?
I am going to give it a B+.
I knew you would.
Is that okay?
And it's okay because I'm going to give it an A.
All right.
It sounds to me like we're saying if you want, at this time of year, a really good film to see A Fantastic Woman.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.